Okay, right, well, what time is it? It's about 7:58 and I've got another interview with a Korean teaching organisation, and I thought today I'd share what I've been doing recently, and you can follow me and hopefully learn a bit more about what I'm doing and plans for the future. So hopefully you enjoy this video, and yeah, fingers crossed for this interview because it starts in 1 minute. Just got a message from the agency, so I'll just show you. And you can see here they just messaged me on Skype, so yeah, well, we'll see. Fingers crossed for this interview. See how it goes. Oh, hello. Good afternoon. Yeah, perfect. Can you hear me? See me? That's great. Okay. Right, well, hello and welcome. I've got to have a coffee for this video because this video is going to be more of a chat to everybody about what's happening to me, and a personal update really in terms of where I am now and where I'm going to be in a couple of months' time. So where to begin? Well, coffee for one thing. Oh, that's hot. Right, well, let's get started. It's going to be quite an informal video. I hope you enjoy it. But if it's of no interest, then fair enough. But one thing that's been on my mind of late, of course, something that I've shared cryptically or non-cryptically, in the past few videos, is the fact that my family and we've all decided to return to South Korea at the end of August. That's the big news. I'm going to Korea at the end of August. All this here behind me is going to be shipped out in a couple of months' time. Not entirely sure. Well, not a couple of months. Next month. No, sorry, 2 months. Gosh. I've literally got a diary here filled of what needs to be done, and trying to get things organised can be a bit of a nightmare. And the reason why I'm going back to Korea with family, well, the prime reason, the most important reason is family. As you may or may not be aware, my wife originates from South Korea. She's a British citizen now, but regardless, her family, her friends, half her life was in South Korea. We've been in the UK since 2009. We did spend 3 years in South Korea. I was working, living. I had a fantastic time, but since the pandemic and everything else that's happened, we've really made the choice to return back and spend time with those that are our nearest and dearest. Yeah, that's where I am at the moment. So as you were watching my introduction, I had another interview. Korea is 8 hours ahead at the moment compared to the UK. Ooh, and in the winter it gets to 9 hours difference because the clocks in the UK go back, and in Korea they don't go back or forth like the UK. So I've been having various interviews over the course of the past few weeks, I gather. Yeah, I've started having more and more interviews in the past few weeks. Obviously,
it would be wonderful if I was able to secure a university position, because I'm working currently with the university in the UK, and to transition from one university to another in South Korea would be great. However, there is a bit of a challenge. Most universities in South Korea recruit in-country, and the way everything's set up with regards to visas and that sort of thing, I need to be sponsored by the university or the institute, and they need to support my application for the visa, so I can't really get a spousal visa now. So there's that. So there's a lot going on at the moment, as you could probably tell, and a lot has happened in the last couple of years. We've been planning this for about a year and a half now, since the pandemic. I guess the pandemic kind of shifted our focus. We were very well settled and organised in the UK. Everything was running smoothly, and then a small blip, and we're like, well, kind of re-established our focus, our aims, and we made that tough decision to return back. It's not easy. It's always a difficult choice to make when you're moving from one country to another, let alone changing your job. If you're going to be handing in your notice with one company and moving on to a new company, that can be stressful enough. But to do it from one country to another, my gosh, I'm crazy. I must be crazy, So there's that, as well as the whole online teaching that I've established now, which I'm very fortunate about. So yeah, that's where we're at. So everything here will be shipped, like I said, in a couple of months. Our little cat, will be joining us. That's another thing that we need to organise. My wife and my son, they'll be sorting out their visas because they have a more flexible approach to getting their visa. No problem. Just myself is, a bit of an unknown quantity until we're actually in country. And it would be wonderful to secure some employment, whether it is the initial 12 months until I can move on to maybe a university position, whatever the case may be. I'm really looking forward to going back to Korea. Like I said, I spent 3 years in South Korea, just over 3 years, and it was a wonderful experience. I really enjoyed teaching the kids, the adults, businessmen, businesswomen. Really great experience, and I can't wait to return to teaching in country. Obviously, I've got my own ideas, my own plans. It's always been a dream of mine to do a PhD. I was thinking about doing it in the UK until the pandemic came along and turned everything on its head. And now I'm going back to Korea. It'd be great to do a PhD, a doctorate in South Korea whilst I'm working. Again, I'm mad about going. Well, it's crazy, moving in your 40s to a new country. Crazy to think about changing your job. Crazy to think about all the documentation that needs to be done, and that's the whole different situation. And oh gosh, just so much to consider. But I'm hopeful. When we've been working towards this for the past year and a half, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, that's the update, and it'll be really interesting to see what Korea has to offer. Like I said, I really enjoyed it. I dived straight into the culture, the language, And I can't wait. I really can't wait. And hopefully I find a reputable employer, whether it's university, institute, there for the initial 12 months until I'm able to focus on what we're going to be doing. And yeah, lots to consider. I really hope this gives you a bit of insight into, or some perspective into what I'm doing, where I'm going. And obviously I'll be updating you with regards to how things are progressing when it comes down to moving to Korea. Funnily enough, I had one recruiter. The only way into Korea as an English language teacher is through a recruiter or directly by the school or institute. And I had one, and I prefer to deal with the latter because, you're dealing with the person at the end of the day. And I had one recruiter that was messaging me and trying to find suitable employment. And they came back and they said, is there any opportunity that you can give us a younger looking photo? And I kind of forgotten how Korean society operates in that regard, where they place a greater emphasis on how you look compared to whether you're suitable for the job or not. There's always going to be that sort of balance between, does that person look appropriate for the job, or is that person qualified enough for that job? And I just had it with this particular interview with this particular organisation, where they said, we're not really looking for someone who's got lots of experience or qualifications, but we're looking for someone who is able to teach business English, for example. And I'm thinking, well, you've got to weigh up between the pros and cons here. Do you want someone of my experience, or do you want someone who's going to be in your organisation for a year and then moving on? Or do you want someone who's dedicated and who's going to stick around and hopefully has some greater comprehension and respect towards Korean culture, whereas someone who's maybe going to go into the country for a year, save up whatever money they're going to be doing, paying off whatever they want to pay off, and then returning back home. Anyway, we'll have to see. I find out tomorrow what is the outcome of that interview. I guess for me, I'm a bit concerned about whether I'm overqualified or overexperienced compared to the aspirations of recruiters or organisations seeking just someone who is young enough and pretty enough, or suitable enough for that institute. So we'll have to see. So lots to consider. Oh my gosh, where do I go from here? But I'm pretty confident I'll find suitable employment. I'm pretty confident that the move into Korea will be quite comfortable. I think the long-term visa for me is a question mark. I'm not entirely sure how my visa holds up. Obviously I get the work-sponsored visa, which doesn't allow much flexibility. However, is there a bit of room to manoeuvre with my history and connection to the country? Fingers crossed. Obviously, if there's particular courses that I need to do to allow some flexibility in terms of employment and the right to live and work with whoever I wish, then I'll be doing that. So yes, I do have aspirations to maybe do a formal course in Korean. I've pretty much self-studied the Korean that I've kind of mastered to date, but I've never really taken a formal qualification. So we'll have to see. If there's an opportunity to do a doctorate or PhD in Korea in terms of Korean culture, history, language, some sort of taught PhD, then I'll be really keen to try and do something, maybe contribute to Korea somehow. You know, I've been connected to Korea personally for over 20 years. I have a real passion about learning more about Korea and Korean culture, and yeah, we'll have to see. What is it, 60 years since or 70 years since the end of the Korean War? Something like that. I guess it's 60 years or so. Gosh. But anyway, that's it. That's my update. Anyway, thanks for listening to my ramblings, and it always is a pleasure to make videos for you. One thing that I'm working on at the moment is the webinar, which today, as I'm recording this, is Wednesday and tomorrow's Thursday, so the first ELT Experiences Community webinar for members. I'm still preparing the presentation for that, and I'm looking forward to meeting the members. It'll be great for you to join, and yeah, I can't wait to see how things evolve with the community. Your support is great and noted. I really appreciate everybody's support. I wouldn't be here without you, so again, thank you. But we'll see what the future holds. Oh, I just realised I need to change my phone to a Korean SIM when I move back to Korea. Funny I'm using that term, move back to Korea, whereas I feel like I've probably never left and I'm returning back. I don't know. Well, that was kind of peculiar. Anyway, thank you ever so much. Take care, and I'll see you in a future video. Happy teaching. Bye bye.